Good morning, YouTube. So, right now, Graboid is showing off why he loves his Retes stack. Now, what is a Retes stack? It is a multi-layered hide that emulates rock crevices. Is it a requirement for Ackie monitors? No. I've seen breeders and everything and other people not be extremely successful without them. Is it a very good hide and a must-have? In my book, yes. But then again, that's my opinion. And we all know how opinions are. So, why do I like it so much? Well, first off, let me get the temp gun real quick. And I can show you the temperatures on the surface here. Let's take a look. Cool down a little. There we are. We found it. So here we're starting to get to the minimum, getting to the perfect temperature for basking. 120. About roundabout there. Where he is, let's see. His temperature's right where he is. Ooh, it's a bit in the 90s. So he's actually nice. Reason he so you see why he sleeps there. After he's wonderfully basked there, he wants to be somewhere nice and warm and toasty, not hot, just warm. So he hides in there. So let's see what the next level's like. Yeah, you see it drops off considerably. Each level it drops off. Gets cooler and cooler. So if he wants to be even cooler what he is right now, he has a nice thermal gradient. Also, because this thing is much higher off the ground level, it means I don't have to use such a powerful bulb. Also, the multi-layers means that if he has the choice of where he has easy access and choice to hides. So if he's on the ground level, there's hides for that. If he's up on the wall background, he has hides that he can get to very easily. He feels very comfortable. And the last one is, if I scared him, he would wedge himself into there, puff himself up a bit, and curl his tail in. And by the time if I try to pull him out, I'm not going to pull him out. That's really that's a plus and a minus. Because once they're in there, you're going to see millions of years of evolution working against you to get it out. Now, the positive side of that negative also, another positive side is you can't, if they do wedge themselves in there and you can't get them out, and you want them out for cleaning or something, is you can just, if you make it's light enough and you can pull out the stack, just grab the stack, put it in a tub that has some ventilation in it, and there you go. You don't have to fight the little guy, and he can stay calm. And that's the other thing. It's important. Hopefully we all understand why hides are so important. It makes your reptile feel secure, and it makes them feel less stressed. Doesn't stress them out to have it. So they can be healthy and have the least amount of stress, if any stress. So, now that I talked about Retes stacks, let's talk about making them. So there are 3 materials you can make it out of. Wood, which is, the pros to that is it's easy to find And you can go to any hardware store, any lumber store and get it. And it's pretty easy to make with if you have any carpentry skills and tools. It's not hard. Problem is all the sealants you can get were never designed to be. I'm pointing out to you guys is the bottom the bottom layers are buried down there. Yeah. That's the problem. Wood rots, and they are never meant for constant moisture. So that's a huge problem. They will rot. Another thing is, wood is flammable. If it gets too hot, it's a fire risk. Now stone, and before I forget, wood, it does conduct heat, but it's an insulator in the end. So it does not conduct heat as well as stone or mortar. So, stone, there's the thing I just mentioned. Stone is a great conductor, and it's also going to be the most realistic. Problem is, stone is heavy, expensive, and can be difficult to find. And you're going to want an inert stone. So don't use limestone, don't use stone that has any metal in it. So if it has a colorful vein in it, like green or something, don't use that. That green is most likely copper. You don't want that leaching into your soil and harming your plants, your reptile, and microfauna. It's just, you don't want that. Also, another danger is stone is heavy. If you don't secure that stone well, the stack could fall apart and crush your reptile. So the third one is what I've used, and I will show you even what the core is made out of. Here we go. Foam. Now you want to use any hard foam, and that includes I must have scared a little bugger. Then you see, yeah. So he's now doing what I talk about. So it is foam, hard foam, coated in mortar. So it's a hybrid. Is it as good a conductor as stone? No, but it's a better conductor than wood. Is it easy to work with? Yes. All you need is a yardstick, a sharp knife, a bucket to mix the mortar in, paintbrush, mortar, of course, hard foam, concrete dye of your choice, and silicone, preferably aquarium silicone, a silicone gun, and you would be pretty much golden. Now these are 1 foot by 1 foot. So it's 1 foot long and by 1 foot wide. Now, Retes stacks are good for not just Ackies. They're good for any rock-dwelling reptile. That would include, but not limited to, chuckwalla, so cute little thing, pancake tortoise, and even some desert snakes. Now you want to do your research, because although most of your rock-dwelling lizards have spiky tails, that does not mean all of them have. The Swahili water skink, for example, has a spiky tail. It, however, is semi-aquatic and is not a rock-dwelling creature. It's a tropical creature. So it's not going to prosper. It's not going to really want or need that. Now, so you cut the hard foam into 1 by 1 feet for your Ackie. And I point out that's for an Ackie. You want to do your research, see what the adult size of your reptile is going to be, and cut it for that. Now I made it 1 by 1 foot because that's the body length is going to be 1 foot, and their tail length is going to be 1 foot. He can curl his tail in, and he fits in perfectly in there. The distance, everything's good for him. Now, once you do that, you're going to want to coat that in mortar. Now, this is why I'm going to say the bad part. If you do wood or stone, you'll probably, if you can get it done in 1 day. Wood, when it comes to sealing and everything, and get it dried and let the chemicals, you'll be done in a week. This, you'll be taking it could easily take you it can take you a long time to do it. At most a month. Why? Because you're going to have to do several layers. Why several layers? Why at least 3 layers even? Because if you drop this, if it was 1 layer and you dropped it, and it shatters, that's it. You have to do all over again. You can't just seal it. If it's 3 layers and the top cracks for some reason, like first off, it's hard to crack 3 layers. Once it's 3 layers, it's very hard and it's very sturdy here than just 1. So cracking it is hard in the first place. But even if you crack the first layer, you can just seal that dust off all the broken bits and everything, and then reseal it, and voila. Make sure apply a little bit more if you want. If the white mortar is underneath, and you can see that. But you're gonna want that because you can just easily just reseal it, and it will be just done, and it's just going to be more durable. There leads into my other thing I want to point out to you guys. Don't be like, I can't cut a straight line, or this thing has a bit of lumps, or it's imperfect. You're not going to find perfection in nature. You're not going to find things that are perfectly symmetrical, perfectly straight lines, perfect everything. No. And you don't want to emulate that. So if your line is you cut the line and it's a little wonky, is it a bit wavy, or one end is wider than the other by a bit, perfect. That's actually perfect, because in nature, you don't get perfect squares. You don't get perfect triangles. You don't get perfect surfaces. Also, you want the surface, and it's like this, you want it to have, don't be like, it's not perfectly smooth. You don't want that. You want there to be bits of lumps. You want to have, as you can see here, bits of where you can see the paint strokes a little bit, which makes it look more like layers and weathering. Perfect, because that's how nature. You're not going to see perfectly smooth, perfectly square, perfect everything. You get that from man-made stuff. So you're going to want it to be imperfect. Every one of these cute these squares to be imperfect and unique, because that's nature. nature, you're not going to be able to go into your backyard and find two rocks that look identical. You're not going to find it. So, once you make ink and seal and each one of these squares, then you want to start stacking them. Now you want them to be slanted. Whether you use stone or wood, you want it to be slanted like this. Because you want one end to be wide open and one end to be real narrow. The wide end is for them to get in, and the slanted is for them to wedge themselves tight in. And you want that opening. When it comes to questioning about how wide, how thick you should make these things, figure out how big the adult gets. Especially think about how big the adult gets around wise. So getting some information from others and doing your research is important, because you want the reptile to be easily able to go in and out. You don't want to be so tight that they squeeze in there to try and hide, and then they can't really easily get back out, because then you have to destroy everything, and it is a painful experience. You don't want to do that. So just don't do that. But you want it to be, you don't want to have it like just straight lines, because you'll defeat the purpose. You want him to be able to get in easy and then wedge himself hard in there. So you want to do slats, to have them slanted. So do some drawings, and if you make up these, just play around. Don't seal them up. Just stack them up and play with them a bit. Get them to the design you want. In the end, this is your terrarium. If you want it to be more of a corner piece instead of like this, go ahead, try it. If you want more layers than that, go ahead. Less? Well, to make it more compatible with your setup, go right ahead, especially if you're doing a pancake tortoise. I probably wouldn't want a lot of layers for a pancake tortoise. I probably would want the needs to be way thicker, and these openings to be big enough that the pancake tortoise can easily get in and out. So that's what I mean by research. Is you're going to want to have it small, big enough for your reptile to easily get in. So make it to them. Don't copy. If you're doing something other than Akkie's, don't copy me. Do your research and experiment. So you stack it. You find that you made everything. You have it all sealed up and everything. Remember, don't forget the seal. The mortar can rot. It can get mold. So if you don't use concrete sealant and just plop it in there, going, oh, it'll make it. As soon as water is exposed to that mortar, it will eventually get mold and rot. So don't do that. So I know this is really long, but I don't see Retes stacks as often, and I feel that's really a loss, because when it comes to Ackie monitors, like my little buddy in there, you can see him a bit, that's a real loss, because they love that. It emulates their natural environment and their natural hide. So thank you very much. I'm so sorry. This is probably the longest video I've made to date, and I hope it'll be the longest video I ever make. So thank you very much, and have a good day. And let's say together, have a nice nap, Graboid. See you next time.